almost all of this will apply to your personal, and you would have a different strategy if you were using a business page for that. Yeah, it's not changing. There we go. Okay, so in the overall grand scheme of the Ignite classes, this is section number 8, capturing leads with social media. And what we're going to be talking about, okay, it doesn't show the, so what we're going to be talking about today is the 10-5-1 engagement system. And then we're going to talk about posting practices, social media strategies, have a quick recap and ahas, and then talk about the daily success system. This section is really, really short. Like all of the content could take 20-30 minutes. So if you have questions, please ask, because, you know, best to answer the questions now. Yeah. So Gary Keller says, it takes time to learn something, more time to implement it, and even longer to approach the mastery of it. So jumping right in, actually, let's take a minute and let's talk about what we're hoping to get out of this class, so I can kind of steer the conversation to that. Do you have anything that you're hoping to take home with it? Okay. That's great. And we'll get into all of that. And yeah, so we're going to start with this 10-5-1 engagement system. And so this slide talking about social media, it's a free marketing tool, and it's a great way to expand your sphere and engage with people. The 10-5-1, the first is the 10, and this is going to be how many things a day should you be liking, loving, reacting to of people that are in your sphere. So you're going to proactively go out and look for 10 things every single day that you should be engaging with in the way of a quick like, love, react. So whether that's Facebook, Instagram, whatever platform you're using. And then the 5 of this is 5 comments. This is where you're going to go and make a meaningful comment on somebody's post. They post something with their kid. You say, oh, so cute. I love this age, something to that effect. And then the 1 is 1 share, direct message, or original post every single day. This is going to help people start thinking about you, and you just want to be on top of their mind as often as possible. Do you remember who was it? Tom Ferry says that you need to remind people every 13 days that you're in real estate, and just staying top of mind with them will help do that. Any ahas on those numbers?
So Tom Ferry says that you should remind people every 13 days. So if you're on your social media, your post shouldn't be about real estate necessarily, because people should go.
Correct.
So could you, like things that aren't necessarily the real estate, or what would you say?
We'll get into the numbers in a minute on the quantity of personal versus business post. So almost all of this is going to be, I guess we can just, is there any other questions? Because I'm pretty sure the next slide will answer that question. So what we're talking about when we're posting for personal versus business, 80% of your posts should be personal and 20% should be business. So every 2 out of 10 should be about your business, and the other 80% should be personal. And then, did you have a follow-up question? Okay.
Things to personal about it, not be like, oh, you're showing something else. See your face, or your voice, but them acting that way. But what if you're terrified?
It's a really good question. Couple of different ways. Because are you talking you're terrified for your personal sharing your personal things, or are you worried about the business side? Which or is it everything?
It's just
Mhm. Understandable. I'm kind of with you there. For the personal posts, you can do something like the agent on our team today for her personal post is going to be posting a picture she made a wreath that looks like Pennywise, like it's got a Pennywise mask and then the tool around it and stuff. And she's going to be posting that today on her Facebook as her way to just so she's showing something that she's doing. It's personal, but it's she's not necessarily going to be in the picture. So you could do things to that effect where if you're growing a pumpkin, you could say, "Oh, look at my pumpkin patch," or whatever things like that. As far as business, what I would recommend is getting like a headshot and just putting it in front of something, a business post. Why do you keep scowling at me?
that's my face.
Um, it's very distracting. I know. I'm looking right at her. So do something like that. Well, one strategy we will use for our proof of success is we'll like use a quote from a testimonial, and we'll just put the agent's picture in front of it, and then we're doing that where we're sharing that from our business page to a personal page, but that way we get their face as well as the proof of success from someone else. Other options are, as you're getting closings, you can snap a picture at closing with the people who close, and then you can upload that and just have that as your kind of proof of success. Other options, I mean, early on with Becca, when she was trying to make the transition into doing videos, when Facebook was really pushing them 3-4 years ago. No, I guess it's a little 4 years ago. She just set this goal of, and this was on the business page, so it doesn't apply to the 80-20% rule, but she just set a goal that Monday through Friday, every single day, she's going to do a lot Facebook Live video just to kind of get her out of that comfort zone. It really challenged her in the beginning. Watching the first videos are still painful, like because she's just fumbling on her words. She knows what she wants to say, but by the end of it, when she finally finished, we had over 600 videos that she had done, and it just really built that comfort and confidence in front of the camera. So all specific real estate things. So it would be one place she uses a lot for content creation is answerthepublic.com. You can go in there and just type in like a couple keywords, and it'll pop up a bunch of Google queries that people have searched, and then you can say, oh, what is forbearance, and then you can take that and make a 2-minute video on forbearance, and it gives just content around it. So a handful of people have Googled that, and now you've created a video around it. And a lot of it was really just to build her knowledge and her comfort in front of the camera. So her business page kind of grew naturally up to about 700 over the period of about 6 years. And then I took over her social media in 2020, like June in 2020. and we went viral really quick thereafter, and now we have about 22,000. So on Facebook, TikTok is one she's growing right now, kind of exploring, but hasn't found it. Yeah, I think it's the way of the future. I definitely think it's going to be really big. But yes, the thing that was really good about when we went viral and looking at all the analytics on the back end was people saw this one post we did, and then they went through a deep dive of all of the previous videos that we had and stuff. So it wasn't just a once luck. It was like, oh, they're consistently posting. So that's what we think kept a lot of people, where they followed the page rather than not. So, yeah.
Keep going. I just want to.
No, go ahead.
So how, when it comes to editing videos, I have no idea. Like, I really like ones sometimes that they're not actually talking, but there's movement. People, I know this, that they would rather look at a video than a picture. But I like it where they're not necessarily talking, or they may have somebody else talking, so it's a split screen. It's just, there's a lot of different creative ways of doing things, but how to do it and how to add music or how to add words, or speed it up or slow it down, or there's just all these different variables.
Yeah.
Have you done videos on Instagram or Facebook or anything?
Not especially.
Instagram is really intuitive.
Yeah.
Like it's yeah. So maybe I don't know, could you demonstrate maybe? Maybe.
I actually don't know how to do videos on Instagram, or I know that it's simple. Becca does all of them. I use Adobe Premiere, which is not intuitive.
So I did one. I went to somebody's house 2 weeks ago, and I asked, if I put a reel on your listing, and my brain there, sure thing. So I did. Just went through, wrote, talking, posted, said what it was, how many square footage, where the address was, blah blah blah. I only had 90 seconds that you can do on a reel. Then I posted it to TikTok and stuff. It was a little viewing. That's not really presentable. I at least had a decent outfit on, and I got 200 new viewers on my Instagram that day, and some creepy. I'm not gonna lie, there was some creepy men. Oh yeah, there was some creepy comments got sent, and a bunch, tons on my TikTok and stuff. But it's what I put on there and content, what it was, because I had looked like, are there people doing homes for sale in Utah? Different. I looked up different hashtags and different things of what they're looking for on TikTok and on Instagram and different things, and just being out there to be visible. That was the thing. So people get lost. And they look and scroll. And they do all those things, and it's really it's not hard.
No, and we don't need to make it difficult, because especially in short format, nobody cares that it's professional.
One of them I did was zero talking. It was like, if you found your happy place, that's fantastic, and had really hideous colored paints in the houses that scroll through, just different kind of that said, but if you aren't planning on moving or doing something, maybe you should choose these colors of paints and stuff. It was just a very soft music that played, and it just had all it said on the thing, some different paint color schemes, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I know exactly what it is, but I said to you. I just did off the stuff. Do you use CapCut?
I know Becca has it installed, but doesn't use it all. Like she prefers TikTok's editor.
TikTok or the real
yeah,
right on quickly. You can do it on.
Yeah, and my recommendation is whatever platform you're going to be using, figure out their editor, because she's using TikTok's editor and then uploading them to Instagram, and we are definitely seeing it gets throttled back on Instagram because of that.
Instagram, and then download it, toss it on TikTok,
Mhm.
no problem.
Yeah. So that's I would say master one of them. Don't try to learn all of them, and then maybe later as you're getting comfortable with it. But they're all really intuitive. And honestly, the thing I would just suggest is just do it and throw it out there, because as long as the content you're putting out is good, people aren't going to come back and watch your original. I mean, they might, but they most likely aren't going to dive deep into all of your old stuff. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
They were like followers. They may not like interact, but they're still new followers because they're interested in what I had to say.
Yep.
I don't know about. What do we?
One thing that we've learned from TikTok is that if you are a real estate channel, you may want to have a separate TikTok for your own enjoyment, because what you are scrolling and viewing on your feed, what your For You page, it's going to associate, oh, she likes baking, so let's push her stuff out to baking people. And then and so you want to really, when you're logged into your TikTok, you really want to be.
See, but I make sure I look at enough houses anytime I look at anything that I scroll through intentionally.
Yeah.
Scroll through homes and design and all that kind of stuff. So I like strategically do enough each time I look at something.
Yep.
You make like a separate, and then you're strong for real estate, but then we find a sound.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Then I'm lazy and I only have one, and it goes out to every man that's apparently 30 and up. It works out fine. I need to put it out more to the women, not just the men. There's a pretty well with the men. It goes. Yeah, apparently mine does. There's like demographics of age and an algorithm of age
But you
groups.
should say I'm on this side. So you see these sounds in this part of the book. You actually found people saw.
No.
I don't know.
I'm apparently in this TikTok where I'm getting everybody.
Yeah, well, we'll get back to this. So when we're talking the 80% of what we're posting, things like your pets, if you're into art, or if you're doing art, if you're buying art, cooking, baking recipes, that can be something that you're like, oh, I found my grandmother's pie recipe and I made it here. A lot of people do the exercising, working out. If that's your personality, you can post about it. You can say, oh, I went on a mile hike this weekend, or whatever. Outdoor adventures. This is one that we do a lot, is we'll do our outdoor adventures or our Disney adventures. Like, it's kind of what our family does, is, we just post about it just so that we're showing that we're semi multifaceted. If you're going to concerts or team sports, things like that, in June, I had lots of content around. We went to Le Mans, France for the 24 hours of Le Mans. So I got a week worth of content, because as soon as I got home, I just posted day 1, this is what we did. Day 2, this is what so it's just so much content that you can create around it. And I would have never shared any of that, because I like being a private person, but yep, it's completely out the window. So that's what you're looking for when you're doing those 80%. And you can have it as big as you want, or you can really narrow it down, just that, I'm an exercise person, and this is the exercise I'm doing today. And, look at this view from the top of the mountain after hiking it, or whatever. So that's what we're looking for when we're posting the 80%. I'm using the wrong keyboard again. This thing's. Okay, so then the 20%, these are going to be things like listings, open houses you're doing, awards you're winning, speaking events, classes you've taking like when you go to family reunion. That right there can be a really good, awesome post. You can take some pictures of stats, and that's one of our favorite things to do is take the stats that Gary throws up on the screen, and we take a screenshot of it, and then we post, hey, this is what the projection of this year's from the leading real estate economist is saying. And it just gives a good reminder that you're in real estate, but that you're also constantly delving into the data. As you're newer and may not have the listings, the open house. Well, open houses, you can find agents all the time, especially on the pages, to let you do open houses in their houses. But at listings, there's 300-ish people under the Westfield brand. Almost any of them will let you share their listing. That's ultimately how we went viral in the beginning. Was I shared a listing for a crazy mansion in Montana, and people found it, and now we're still doing luxury listings 4 years later. I just pushed. The way I did it, because I was studying how to make something go viral. At the time, Facebook really liked posts that had tons of images, because Facebook's only, well, pretty much any social media's only job is they want you to keep people on the platform as long as possible. So we didn't post an external link, and we had lots of pictures and text. So that, I think it was like 35 pictures of this house. So you click on the first one and you'd sit and scroll through all these crazy pictures and stuff. And I'm still getting comments on that stupid post. Like it's sold. Years later, it's sold. And I'm still getting people probably once a week commenting like, couldn't even clean the house before. On Facebook, old people. Like, it's just old people. Like, it's me and old people that are on Facebook anymore. It's the one I'm most comfortable. I mean, I like TikTok, and then I avoid Instagram entirely because it's just, I don't understand it. Yeah. So, but yeah, so just reach out. Like the way I would do it, and the way I do, I have someone running my social media now, because my life just got too busy, and it was way too important to let it go. But the way that I would do it is every week I would just pull up the MLS. I would filter it by KW Westfield, and then look at the houses that are new to the market, and then whatever one was either the most luxury, the nicest, most expensive, something that had a crazy feature, or maybe the lowest price point one. And then I would share that, and I'd text the agent, say, hey, it's Brady, can I share this to our thing? And never had anyone. Outside of our brokerage, I have reached out to some, like at Ingalls and Volker, and because they do a lot of luxury listings in Park City, and they're really good. There are a few companies that are like weird about it, like, no, you can't. And I've never understood that, but I just quickly move on because there's no sense in getting hung up on it. But that's one place I would say, if you're looking for postings, just find that. If open houses are a part of your lead generation strategy, absolutely post that you've got open houses. And then, yeah, so if you have any speaking events or awards that you're winning, you post that as well. Any questions on that? It's in February. I believe this year it's the last week of February. It's in Las Vegas, and it is incredible. I actually think going to family reunion the year before I joined real estate is the reason I'm here, because I was a robotics engineer prior to this, and I went to New Orleans in 2019 for family reunion. I went to classes. Like I'd worked in the business in the background since day one, but never thought I would actually join. And then I went to family reunion, and I'm like, oh, so much. I love it. And then I was given the opportunity to join. So
Should be a realtor to go or?
Mm-mm. Nope. Yeah, they like for mine it was just it said KW guest with my name. You don't even have to be with Keller Williams, but yeah. So I went, and Becca and I took different classes. So I took classes on kind of the building the business, and she took classes on being in business. And then at the end of the days, we exchanged notes and all the fun thing. But I love family reunion and mega camp and stuff too. But family reunion, I think, is the just mega camp. It's one that's in August, or is it August? I think it's August in Austin. It's really incredible, but it's a higher level conversation than family reunion. And then one thing they recommend here is 10% like doing community service, posting stuff that you're out working in the community. So some of the posts, if you've heard of Red Day, every May we do the whole company shuts down for one day. I can't remember the date, and each office organizes a Red Day event. Last year we did, we installed smoke detectors, and I can't remember what else, but we did it with the fire departments in kind of the lower income housing areas, just to make sure that homes were safe. So that's stuff that you can post about. It's like, oh, hey, we're out here with Red Day, or there are several different events. In the past, we've done like turkey drives and things, and it just shows to people that you care about the community that you're working in.
Yeah, I remember seeing, I post about that day. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
Just the idea of like shutting off down, going and doing one thing. So.
Yeah. So last year we helped rebuild the Discovery Park in Pleasant Grove. A few years ago, they painted the library at one of the schools here in Provo Orem. I can't remember which one it was, but just spend a day with the office, and it gives you just a lot of content to post. There's several. Amber Burke has done something with the Habitat for Humanity where a bunch of women go and help build a house, and I think she does that every year. Becca's been involved with it once, and it's just an opportunity to post and kind of build trust. Do we have any ahas from that section?
I got a question for you.
You're saying that, you know, the ones you want to work with, not trying to there's that issue.
Mhm.
But I'd like to know that someday.
Brady, can you hear us?
How, and so if you have a comfort zone or a lot, well,
Hey, Rob, can you type in your question?
a lot more.
Looks
All
like
right.
he can hear us.
Where's the chat?
I don't know, just maybe like accountability, guys, but like Facebook, like sending emails, hey, you're getting a lot of engagement on the page, you like to like, I forgot what the verb was, to like advertising opportunities or something like that. So I just know that it works, you know. And yeah, I do have multi crowd as well.
They buy houses.
They buy houses,
They have money.
They have money, yeah. Investment property.
Yeah.
But I think it's kind of cool. It works. That's what I'm saying. Like it definitely works. And I don't know, you probably talked about it already, but you know, responding to comments, I know really blowing this stuff up. Next level.
That's okay, that's a good one, you know, because I, responding to people, I put so much thought into everything as people.
Mhm.
People are. But, and so it makes me feel like I want to respond. But I haven't ever posted about real estate yet.
Mhm.
Yeah, if it's not personal, I can do it. If it's personal,
I understand, and it's one of those things that you don't want to take away your personality of showing how much you care and stuff, but being able to respond really will. That post that we went viral, as we started going viral, I actually paid my sister-in-law in Texas and my admin to sit and respond to as many comments as possible. So, because well, and it doesn't. I mean, how often do you comment on something that you're just like commenting like, oh, that's so exciting, congratulations or something? You don't really expect a response. But what happens is when you're responding, Facebook says, oh, people are engaging, they're going to stay on the platform longer. So that's all you're trying to do is just engage and get them to, you know, be like, oh, that, you know, you're just trying to build good feelings in people, but also let Facebook know that you're not just going to post and then go to another platform and post it there, because you're wanting to really keep the people on the platform that you're posting on. Like that's your real goal, is to tell Facebook that, or Instagram, TikTok, whatever, I'm here to keep you making money. And they make money by getting more people to scroll past more ads. So that is like, when you break it down to what Facebook wants to see, they want to see engaging stuff that doesn't take people away. So like, had an example, and I can't really quantify it, but if you're encouraging people to do something where they close the app to do something else, Facebook's going to see that, and then they're going to start throttling your content. Yeah, external links, one of the big things, especially on Facebook, don't put it in the text of the thing. Put it as a comment. Go in and just put a comment with the link, because then it, for some reason, they haven't figured out that that's a workaround. Or maybe since it's not as easy to click, maybe people they don't throttle it as much. But we've noticed a huge. We'll do an event, and if we put a link in the text versus putting it out of the text, I'll get more signups when it's as a comment. So
like you have a funnel and whatever, comment it after.
yes, unless you're paying for advertising. If you're paying for advertisement, it's they change the rules a little bit. But
So, link, want to go somewhere, say, go to your website.
Mhm.
You put that in the first comment.
the first comment. Yep, it's just a way to, yeah, it's exactly allow you to post it, but not get throttled as hard from having a link as in. And there'll be times that I put a link like to my website in my, this is getting way too granular, but I'll put it in the post simply because I'm just building backlinks for my website. So like, if you go and look at it, you'll probably see one out of every 30 or 40 posts on my business page will have a link to my website. And that's just simply because I'm trying to keep my website relevant. So completely different, but
That's why I get paid to do this. Now, you know, if I know I can go on and post, it's like, oh, I love that house you listed. Well, it's actually not mine, but you know, they need to sell it, and whether I sell it or they sell it, it doesn't matter. The house needs to be sold, and they thought it was great, really good house and stuff. And when I posted the other thing to Instagram and TikTok about, you know, hey, we don't choose those paint colors and stuff, that's my best. Hey, would you please comment on that and show that you're a spaz and you just painted your wall black, and you know, just comment to make it relevant. Get it up there, get it in the feed. I'm not above it. Let's not lie. I'm not above asking my kids to make comments on there. And friends and neighbors and stuff there. Sometimes you gotta do a few things. I mean, it's not, there's nothing wrong with asking people to help you that are your family and friends. And, you know, your family and friends want you to be successful. They want you to be, I mean, I was at baby shower this weekend, and people I know and love, and you know, talk to them, and they're like, oh, you know, we're starting to look on stuff, and I'm like, wait, what are we doing? I said, I'll send you the stuff out, because I've got all their information, and they told me to credit. Like, well, okay, let's get moving, let me get more. But I talked to the husband too many times, so I needed the wife's information, not the husband, because I figured out who the real dynamic person who was the, you know, mover and was going to move things along, her, not him. So, you know, you just have to breath when you're worried and be like, it's okay. And it wasn't weird, you know, things like that. You have to just make it it's when they say it has to be, it's not natural, that's not the word they use, but it has to be organic. It just has to be organic and make it be okay, like with all that kind of stuff. Somebody wishes you happy birthday on Facebook, comment back to all the comments personally. Thank you so much. It doesn't have to be a novel. It only needs to be, a sentence. Thank you so much. That really meant a lot. Next, boom.
Yep.
Love it. Comment, move on. Love it. Comment, move on. Like every single thing when I posted that I changed careers, loved it, commented, thanked every single person. Yeah, it took some time, but it was engagement and it kept engaged and people are still commenting on it, a month later, and I go back in, check, make sure, comment, move on.
Well, and really what this whole 10-5-1 is doing is it's going to, because as people engage with your content's going to keep coming up more and more
Right.
frequent with those people. So as you go back and comment to them, it's building these little bridges that's going to help you stay relevant to everyone that you're commenting. And that's why when you're going out and with that, the number there, coming back because I can't remember the word, the direct message. I didn't really touch on this very well, but this one share direct message or original post, this can be like if you're like, I need to reach out to Tom because I haven't talked to him in a long time. I'm not really seeing his stuff. If you just go on and send a direct message to him, be like, hey, this, I saw this, it was thinking of you, good seeing your post, something really simple and small. What it's going to do is start getting that person engaged back with seeing your posts, where you'll see his post. You can start liking, commenting on his things more frequently. So there are people that our lives don't run parallel, but I know they're good clients. Like they've been good referring partners, things like that. So I actually go out of my way to make sure that I engage with stuff. And sometimes I'll just search up their name in the search box, go to their page and just find the last thing. If it's semi-recent, and just write a comment just so that it keeps bringing me back. Because that's all I want, is just to be relevant to.
What do you do? Because, like, there's things that I have posted and I didn't look back. And I've got all those comments and I'm like, oh, didn't say anything. It's been weeks.
Just, I mean, you could always go, like if it was like a birthday thing, you could go back, like, hey, everyone, thanks for the birthday wishes. Sorry I didn't get on, but if it's something that's just come and gone, I wouldn't stress it. Like, I wouldn't do anything that is going to give you so much analysis paralysis that you're not going to do the job. Like, take a small sliver of what needs to be done and just delve into that. And then once you get comfortable with that section, just add a little bit more. We're not looking for perfection day one. It's about being as consistent as you can until you're getting that 80 or 90%, and then just bring in a little bit more until you're comfortable with that. One thing that I did, and this goes to my business page, not my personal page, but it would work the same. I had a calendar, I just called it my Facebook content calendar. On Sundays, I did a silly Sunday. Monday was Market Monday, so it was something about the statistics. Tuesday was, I can't remember, but I had every single day of the week, I had one thing that I just knew I was going to post that day, so that I didn't have to think that part through. So I just knew that on Friday, it was Luxury Friday. I'm putting a luxury listing on the page.
Are these stories or actual?
These were actual posts. All of the stories Becca does, so I don't have a good grasp on her strategy. I know through Instagram, she shares that to Facebook, that she has at any point in time 4 stories going, but I don't know the other strategies behind that.
I feel about a mixed page because I'm not a big poster anyway.
Mhm.
I don't share that much, so about a mixed
Like-
Facebook page because I'm not a big sharer.
Like mixed with a spouse or
Mixed business, personal.
yeah. So mixed business personal, that's basically what this whole class is talking about.
I don't know, 2 pages.
Yeah,
You know?
and that's the reason, I mean, we did it early on, but now with Command, we actually have it linked to Command, so we can run ads to our business page. But there's no really, like, especially early on, big reasons why you need to have a business page. Once you start getting a bunch of past clients and stuff, it might make sense to do it then. But following this 80-20, I'm doing the wrong one again. The 80-20, that's going to be for your personal page, and you're just peppering in the personal success and things for your business as a way to remind people. There is no like rule that says you need to post every day. I would say as you get comfortable with it, posting every day, or maybe.
There's not, and I don't want to post my grandkids on there.
Yeah.
You know, unless it's like at a distance and we're on a vacation
Mhm.
type thing. Yeah. Or again, you know, like I told you, my creeper problem, I
Yeah.
don't really want them seeing all the stuff.
Mhm.
That's Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah,
Not Facebook.
and you can really just make up content. Like
I think I'm gonna have to.
you could go to a blind store and just be like, oh, look at these cute blinds. Like, should I buy them for my house?
What can I tell you
And
at home?
yeah, and you know, go and take 15 pictures and
That's probably not like that. Never make that up.
yeah, but you can find something that's within your personality and start driving a little bit of your page to that. And asking questions, having people answer questions is a great way to get engagement.
Hey, what do you think about this?
Mhm.
How, you know, how do you feel, you know, just to, because like I said, I looked at a whole ton of stuff to see what I thought was most engaging for me, that I found the best. And I mean, I spent like 2 hours watching it. So it's filtering lots of homes.
Yeah.
On different things, but I was like, that sucks. I hate this. This is horrible. If, you know, scroll fast. Don't want to listen. Don't want to look. You know, why does this person have 300,000 views? 300,000. This gal in Arizona on TikTok. And I thought, oh, she's engaging. She's showing what people like, her music, her songs.
Yep.
You know, she's just interesting. You know, just looking.
So I'm curious what your thoughts are on this. Do you do like on Instagram, you can do just a normal account or like a professional account? What do you do and what do you say we should do? What's the first?
For what we do, hers, I believe, is just a personal account, but she treats it like it's a business. And we can definitely track probably 2 or 3 closings a year, going back a handful of years to Instagram. Sorry. But I don't know if there is an extreme benefit to being business only. I think for us, Becca's life is real estate. Like, it is her personality, it is her life, it's everything. So that's kind of like we are kind of opposite on this. She probably does 20% personal and 80% business on that. And
So
that
I'm asking about like the setting.
Mhm.
You can do the settings for like a professional account, and I think you can see more statistics. Like I know there's different, and you can do a setting.
Have it go to a professional setting.
Yeah.
I would always say, especially if you like statistics, having more data about the people who are engaging and viewing your stuff is going to be a benefit, because then you can say, oh, I'm really popular with this niche of people. What can I do to increase that? Or, hey, I'm really popular 14-year-old girls. That's a problem. How do I pivot away from, because what you wanting to do is get people either there that are in your sphere, which is a lot of what Becca does with her Instagram. Is it's past clients, it's people that already know and trust us, and it's just trying to stay top of mind with our Instagram. So if you're able to have more data, you definitely can start being like, oh, hey, this post is doing really well. Now that I say that, I'm pretty sure she does have a professional, because we do look at the stats of where things are and the demographics of who is engaging with her
I
content.
wasn't sure, 'cause some people told me that's better, but Josh on your more
No.
team, he said that if you go to a professional account, like the way people view your account is different, and he said
Let me look into it, and I'll talk to Beck and see what she knows it. But I can see how that could be a different. Are you planning on using it for mostly business, or are you wanting to follow this 80/20?
I like this 80/20.
Yeah, so it might make sense to keep it as a personal, but I'll talk to Becca and see if she knows anything. If not, I'll find out a solid answer for you on that. Did you have a comment? Sorry.
I know it's all preference, this, that, and the other. But yeah, being top of mind is just the most important.
Mhm.
I mean, we of course want quality content, but at the end of the day, having it on top of
Yep.
is the most important.
Do you have your accounts under seasons?
We do now. Yeah.
So it's not under your personal name?
No. That was one of the things that she decided early, that she wanted to build the team, and she never wanted somebody on the team to feel like, oh, it's Becca Summers' team. There's plenty of successful teams whose rainmakers have gone that way, but she's like, I want it to be Seasons, is kind of a play off the last name, and then she also has the, I want to be a realtor for all the seasons of your life. So that's where she came up with the name. And when we went viral, we were Becca Summers Seasons Real Estate, and our websites and everything had her name in it. And I've just been slowly pulling that stuff out. So yeah. So that's why we did that. But if you're just like, I'm probably going to be staying solo, or I don't want my whole identity to be my brand, or my brand name to be my identity, there's no reason that you need to have a team name or anything like that. It's perfectly fine to be Brady Summers Real Estate and move forward with that. There's some advantages to keeping it under your name as well, because it's name recognition, where I've spent 4.5 years building up the Seasons name to all of our past clients, so that they'll still open up an email that now it doesn't say Becca's name in the headline. So yeah, so we went through that. Yeah, so now we're going to talk more about the strategies on social media. So here we're going to be wanting to connect with people that that you may have met in any shape or form. You can do things like posting about your neighborhood, using images. You can congratulate new homeowners. You can post about listings, and then we want to engage. So as we're making posts and that you want to engage with those, you also want to engage with people's feeds that are popping up on your feed.
I know we're talking about having personal account, mixing it up with this account, and yet I think other ones mine, on Facebook, I'm another sense. I don't post about my things. It's always been I'm a very kind of person.
Mhm.
And on Instagram, I announce like, oh, and take it now. But I don't have other.
I can understand that. with fitness. So you're posting about your fitness stuff on Instagram.
Kind of, sort of. I mean, it's.
What you'll find is people that are following you because they like your personality. So if as you're posting, you're 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 not all of a sudden changing into a different person, because you're still going to have your perspective of life, your takeaway. These people are going to still have the same sense of um, you that you're putting out there. So it might be a different content, but as long as you're not all of a sudden just like switching entirely, like that was a strategy for a while that people would build up big following on Facebook's, wipe out everything, and then they would sell that page so that all of a sudden you just have 20,000 followers, but everyone starts unsubscribing because you're not the same person, you're not the same content. Um, and that's not what we're trying to get you to. We don't want you to change your personality, because we want the people who already like you to stay liking you. Just be like, oh, hey, that's really cool that you just had an open house. That's really cool that you have this listing, even if it's not you. Like even us, we have quite a few listings, but when we need a listing, we will find one and share it. And I wouldn't say we're trying to make it look like it's ours, but we're also not telling people explicitly that it's not. Yeah, exactly. So we're just trying to show that, hey, we're in this market, we know what's going on, we're experts. And then, hey, we do fitness, and look at this cool routine, or what have you. So it's not about changing what your page is. It's just about adding a little bit more of your life, so that everybody, when they think about real estate agents, you're that first person, because that's ultimately the game we're in. We're just in this game of wanting to be the first, maybe second person that somebody thinks of when they need to make the phone call, because most people are only going to call one.
What do you think about those cameras that they advertise all the time for real estate? Do you know what I'm talking about? There's strategic cameras that you purchase to get excellent footage.
I'm not sure. I have a 360 camera, so I do like all of our home tours and Matterports and floor plans. With the MLS, like going to a listings aspect, I would recommend using the free Kubi Casa that the MLS gives us for floor plans. I think floor plans are absolutely critical. There's a lot of data that backs that up, but that can be done for free through the MLS. Matterport tours, it's called a Matterport. It's a 360 tour, like what you do a Google Street View of a house. I don't think they're critical anymore. I still use it as a selling feature to my sellers, but during COVID, when we implemented them, we saw huge numbers using them. People aren't clicking them anymore. They don't care that much. But it's called Kubi Casa, Cubicasa. There's a link on the MLS, like when you log in, it should be on the left side column, and it can work through. And it does up to a 5,000 square foot home for free. And I've used it once, and other than the 48 hours it took it to get to me, it was as good as my Matterport one. So I still use Matterport because I can get them faster. It's a third-party app. Yeah, for floor plans.
So do you just like walk around the perimeter of?
I might have deleted the. Oh, there it is. Yeah, so you go and you just kind of walk around and take a video of the lower 2/3 of the floor, the wall, and then you upload it, and somebody does the magic. And the part of our dues are paying for that software. So it's super cool, and I highly recommend using it. Yeah, so, and that's something, like if you needed a post, you could do a floor plan, not even necessarily your listing, just go do a floor plan of a house, or your own personal house or apartment, wherever you live, and you could upload it and say, hey, what do you think of the MLS having floor plans on the MLS? And then say, all my listings, I'm going to be putting floor plans just to help your home stand out a little bit better. Because then it's like, trying to get engaging questions, but then also tell them that, hey, I'm using cool tech that doesn't cost us anything extra. So on, you got a question? Yeah. On highlighting your business, this is where we're going to really start showing our expertise. You're looking for things that are hyper local information. This can be something like last week we featured. There's a bookstore in American Fork called Hideaway Books. It's a small hole in the wall bookstore, and we shared that with our email list. Hey, here, here's this. We actually did a giveaway for some gift certificates to it, but it's just like highlighting a little aspect of our own community, kind of building trust, building that, hey, this I'm here, I'm in this neighborhood, this is where I'm at. You can do that with video, you can do that with just posts, and stuff like that. Utilizing tech developments, like I just kind of talking about that Kubi Casa. There's also a whole bunch of lists. I can't remember all of them, but on that sidebar on the MLS, there's statistics, there's all sorts of things that you open it up and there's like beautiful graphics. All you have to do is go and snap it and share it. And it's just showing that you're an expert. Even if you may not fully understand where the data comes from or how they get it, you can kind of extrapolate it and share it with your people so that they're seeing that, hey, they're really into this stuff. They understand why the market's doing what it's doing. And it's not just, oh, hey, experts are saying that the market's not going to get any or cheaper, but why is that? And then you can say, here's the data. Oh, there is no inventory. There's no homes available to buy. So while no one's buying, there's still not enough inventory to say that prices are going to drop. So you can use all of these little free things to help build that. Another thing that I use every single day for our Google My Business page is, oh heavens, ChatGPT. I write all of my Google business posts through ChatGPT. I it's an artificial intelligence AI software that you just go to chatgpt.com and ChatGPT, and you go in and they have a bunch of stuff in the settings when you're setting up your account where you can say, this is my business, this is what I do, and you can kind of give it some predefined parameters. But then you go into a chat box and you just say, I need you to write 25 posts for Google My Business for this website, and I put the website in there talking about this. I want keyword density. I want every third post to talk about Orem. And so like we dominate in the Orem organic Google searches, like we just dominate. So I am heavily keyword density this area so that when nobody reads Google My Business posts except for Google's algorithm, and they love it. So then when you search Utah Realtor or Realtor Orem, stuff like that, we start becoming relevant. But that's not the point of this. But I can go in and just set the parameters of what I want to accomplish and then hit enter. And all of a sudden I've got 20-ish out of 25 posts that I'm willing to just copy and paste into my stuff and then throw a picture with it and I'm done. So like it can write paragraphs, it can do, we actually did 2 or 3 homes that we've listed. We use ChatGPT to write the description just as a,
I know what I want to say on something, and then I'll have it right too. Then I go through and I use what I want out of both of them. Like I looked to my brother's, he's an attorney. Stuff off. I was reading what they said on LinkedIn last night, and I was snorting because I was like, "Oh, I'm pretty sure ChatGPT wrote this because it sounded amazing." And my brother, bless his heart, I loved him. He's a phenomenal attorney. And
yeah. So
somebody else wrote this.
so funny because one of my sons got married like a month ago, and the vows that he gave to her were just like, no one,
So good, huh?
and I was like, nobody knew that he could write such eloquent thoughts, and it's like, everything's, oh, we know. I'm like, I think,
no.
I can't write that well.
So I was in a coaching class with a bunch of MAPS coach. It was for building and operations, so it was like a group coaching thing. And every week we'd have homework, and it was to build our personal playbooks for our business. And every single week I would take the framework that they'd give us, and I'd take my. We have what we called our filters, how we run our business, and I would put them together. It's in technology, and it would just finish my work for me. It would take me an hour to do weeks worth of stuff with technology. So using tech saves you so much time once you learn how to do it. Yeah, that's all we're doing.
I'm in college, right? But everybody else nowadays, they're not.
I believe that using your resources is the best thing that college can teach you how to do.
Sure,
So
now it's called cheating, and that's why they have like all the things that are running all the stuff on there.
yep. And then the last thing you want to do is posting client testimonials, and getting real client testimonials is key. But having proof of success from someone else's mouth goes a lot further than saying I did this, or having someone say you did. Or on anything.
Before funding, while they still like this.
Yep, that's Becca's favorite way. My coach always said that she has her other clients do it 3 times throughout the process. Like early on, she'll say, "Hey, I'm going to send you this Google link. You know, if you feel like you're getting a 5-star service, please give me that review. And if you're not, please let me know what I'm doing so I can improve it by the end of it." And then just peppering that throughout. But we've had really, really good success. I think we're at like 120-ish Google 5-star reviews right now. And they're all, except for 2 of them are realtors. No, they're still 5 stars. Two of them are realtors. Everyone else is a past client. So sending them the link right before funding, or after closing before funding has worked really, really well to get them to be like, okay, I'll fill it out, because they still need you, but they're no longer stressed. They should be elated by that point in time.
This is a little off topic, but I want to do like a Google business account or whatever.
Mhm.
When you pick the location, like, did you guys pick the, or is it like your house, or?
It's here.
Here?
I have been doing the research for almost a year now on how to move it to Mapleton. I don't want to move it. I want to have a second location. And I think I understand it, but I am terrified of moving it and losing what we have being here in Orem with our geographic farm being here in Orem. So if I were to have started in Mapleton, I would just put it as the office. But now that it's established here, I'm terrified to move it. So I would say put it somewhere that, you're gonna feel good about it being, because I worry changing it will affect future search results, and it'll for the Google business page.
Decide where you want to land it.
For address. So like when I built ours, I put here as the office, because this is where we were at, and now we work out of our Mapleton office, but I've left it here since I still have access to the building, all of that.
Right, so say, so don't put it where you live.
I wouldn't, because then you're giving people on the internet your at-home address. Yeah.
Those creeper guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
So that I would have it at a business, but whether you choose like this look, because where do you live? Where do you want your business to be?
live in Santa Cruz and it's a really good opportunity. I grew up in Elkridge, so
Uh-huh.
like Santa Quinn, Elkridge,
Yeah, that's
Spanish
awesome.
Fork. I've done a
Oh,
ton
really?
of deals with Verizon, in Spanish Fork.
Yeah.
And I've done some in Lehigh and Syracuse.
My pool is all plus from American Fork, Lehigh, High, and the Alpine area.
Yeah, so it, if and this is going to be a little bit on the sexist side, I, I being a man, I would be a little bit less worried to have my address with my business name at my house, just because I don't have to worry about creepy men on the internet. Like I still having my wife's name, I wouldn't want, because sure I can take care of the family, but I don't want to have to. But like if that's, I wouldn't say that's necessarily bad, but if you're planning on moving, then you're gonna kind of run into that same problem.
Right.
So I don't know if, yeah, I don't know if there's a one size fits all answer unless you want to buy a building in your farm. But I don't know if, for the most part, if being here in Orem caused us to be relevant or my original just keyword density, because it's been 3 years of lots and lots of posts. I try to post on it every business day, so I don't know if it's one or the other, but I think this year we're going to close probably 2 million from our farm, just from people picking up the phone and calling us from Google organic. So
Just from the
just from Google.
now thoughts. Oh, okay, so being that I'm brand new, being that I haven't been in any real business per se, and yet this isn't, I don't know that I necessarily see myself living here forever. And with the average home price here versus Salt Lake or Park City, what would you do?
Honestly, at this point,
Your neighbor.
Yeah.
My neighbor. I mean, I live there, but it's temporary.
well, honestly, I probably wouldn't start a Google My Business. So you don't need to have a tangible address right now, because I would say focus on one of the social medias and really learn it. And while you're learning it, you can play and kind of just dabble in the others, but I would be focused solely on growing one platform first, getting really comfortable. Becca, my wife, I would say we're really proficient in YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. She doesn't understand. She knows how to work on TikTok. We haven't seen any business. There's nothing. So tomorrow she's flying out to a weird conference in Florida with a bunch of random TikTok real estate people from all over the country to hopefully learn how to use it better and get more business, better referrals, things like that. So like every year as she's gotten proficient, then she's pulled in another lead source or a thing, but she won't do it until she feels what she's doing is natural, like that she can do it without having to look at her playbook every day. So like if she has a few extra minutes, she can sit in her car and schedule out Facebook posts or stuff like that. So I would say start with one that you're comfortable on and really understand it before you move forward. And as far as like finding your community, if you're not where you want to be in the end, like if you're wanting to end up in Park City, for example, I would start all of the, like if you're sharing a listing, reach out to agents that are in the Park City KW branch and say, hey, can I share this listing to my page? Because then you're starting to build those bridges of that you're serving that community, so then you don't like pigeonhole yourself into, working in Alberta because you posted like 7 houses in Alberta and nobody even knows where that is. So, but that's what I would do there, is really just most people aren't going to know, and you just kind of fake it till you make it. So, but to the business page, I don't know what I would do, because if you're planning on moving in the next 10 years, it kind of has the same problem that I'm in. But yeah, if you have your page,
It's like, worried about that.
yeah, but yeah, so I'm not sure I'd probably just put it at the office, and then if you're pursuing business from Google My Business, I would just have your posts be relevant to the area communities you want to serve. And you can like go in and fill out which communities you serve on when you're filling it out. But then when you're doing posts, like when you go and hit create post, I would just type in Santaquin, every once in a while, have it be a Santaquin specific post, so that as people start searching Santaquin, oh, there's your page, and then your phone number's at the top with it. So,
Type that in on your Google.
yes, on the Google, if you have a Google My Business page.
Put it in the Google, business part, right?
Yes.
I put that Google business keyword area farming.
Mhm.
That was my correct, what I should type in.
Yep.
I was listening,
Yeah, you're good. You're with us.
like, yes, that's that.
I can't.
Do you ever like do multiple videos in one day? Because then you can put them out, it's like, okay. I'm gonna
Yes.
set up.
We batch videos all the time. When we're doing YouTubes, which I've been really bad for the last 6-8 months, when we're doing them, I do minimum 2 videos in a day. I don't even bother to change whatever. It's same thing. And then the thing I will change is my thumbnail, but that's a YouTube strategy thing. Then not. But people don't care. There was a point in time where we were trying videos inside the office, and we would batch like 4 in an afternoon, and then I take 4 weeks to edit them, upload them, and everything. But same outfits, same. No, nobody cares. So you'll actually probably, if you're here often enough, you'll see Becca doing videos around this office. She's just making a bunch of TikToks so that when she's slow, she makes content. And then when she's really busy, she just throws it up. We actually have a calendar every day at 3, I think it is. It pops up and says TikTok. So she goes on and posts her TikTok if she hasn't done it for the day. And
Well, it shows you on TikTok who follows you. Like, it'll show you who demographic is. I know what my demographic is. Oh man, look, mine says men. Mine says men. It says like a speckle of women and a whole pile of men. I gotta switch mine over and figure out how to get the women to follow me.
You
No,
can
it's
see
gross.
the demographic.
I'm not bragging, it's gross. It's really gross. It's blah.
I have a question with, so you can schedule posts, I heard you say that.
on Facebook business, you can schedule posts. On a personal page, you cannot. I think there's a third-party platform that you can actually schedule stuff like across a myriad of command. Command you can schedule, but it has to be a business profile as well. So that kind of, it's the same problem. So I don't use the command scheduling at all, because I can do it through Facebook's platform just as easily. I do run ads through command though, because they do have better reach. So, but that's kind of a different topic.
What not always saying is when you use demographics, or
I high-five myself.
I saw.
Because I thought her, she's 20.
demographics refers to
The people who are engaging in your content. So demographics is what we look at when we're saying, all right, who are we reaching? Who are the people watching the videos? How long are they watching? Well, not how long, but that's it'll be in that information, and you'll be able to see where they're from. Like with our YouTube page, I can tell you which part of the country people are. Actually, I can from our Facebook page too. I can tell you that we're really popular in New York, in Salt Lake, in LA, and in a city in India.
Whether they're male or
And yeah, it'll tell us. I know on her TikTok, she's 65% female and 35% male following her currently on, or at least last time I looked at that data. So it just tells you who's following you. And if you like that as your demographic, then you keep putting out the content you're putting out. If you don't like that demographic, you can shift it a little bit. Maybe Becca does really well with very analytical people, engineer minded, loves numbers and data. But if for some reason she is like, I don't like working with engineers, she could throttle back some of that data and put more happy go Philly stuff and start to find new audiences. But she likes engineer minded people. She really loves people who can make a decision off of numbers rather than emotions. So
I'm not 50-50 almost male, female, I feel better since I got the housing market up. Tells you age range, states, Nigeria, other countries, top cities.
Nigeria, maybe you'll find one of those princes who need to send some money here.
Yeah, like, it tells you all the stuff. It's pretty cool. But I did a whole like thing on how to, learn all this crap. See, I like, I'm a learner. Love to learn. I want to know. I have to know all the details. I might be a little Becca-minded myself, where I need to know all the details.
Yep.
Try to keep it the same.
So, any other questions on highlighting your business on your 20%? Bring it.
South County. South County's got some.
I invite the challenge. So
I'm trying. Give it like 5 years.
kind of own it, or that you own it, as far as when people do a Google search,
Mhm.
your name's come up.
Yeah.
How do you? See, I know nothing, zero.
I wouldn't stress about that. That is
Down the road.
yeah. We started looking at it at year 6, so that's kind of like I get squirreled because it's part of my life, but it took us till year 6 till we cared about it. Like you could go in and create a business profile for you now so that you have years experience and that you just fill out that you're woman owned, that your business hours and stuff like that. So if somebody searches for you, there is something, but I would not stress building it as a strategy until you're further down the line. It's true.
You can order them. I'll give you a website. My sister bought one of my mom's stuff. She bought it for Christmas. I'll give you the
I want
website.
to appear that I'm there.
Good idea.
I can understand that, but I'll also tell you, Becca doesn't wear a wedding ring, so there's, I don't know. I don't either. I got fat and then lost it. I think I sold it with my Mustang. I actually really liked those. And then I had one get caught in a piece of equipment at my last job and I never replaced it. So yeah. What's that? No, because it was rubber, so it just broke right off. Yeah. I wouldn't have worn it if it were metal. So
I have a question.
yes.
With building your brand, I see a lot of agents. I wouldn't necessarily use the word distancing themselves from creating US Go, but they build their own brand. To me, I see the advantage of being like, hey, US Go, Keller Williams. But then you want to build your own brand as well. So
Mhm.
you have to do well with that.
Yeah. For us, we'll always be at Keller, but even I still don't leverage Keller Williams branding that much because outside of the industry, they don't market, they don't advertise. So it's like you're with who?
Yeah.
We're the largest real estate brand in the world. That's us. I've never heard of them. Yeah, I know. So part of me wishes they would come out and say all of our signage needs to have the same color schemes and stuff, but I also am far away from any color scheme I do use Gary Keller Red, but other than that, so for me, it's really about building our brand and just housing it here. So, yeah, and I don't know if there is a right answer or not.
I mean, they want to sit back and have that vision.
Mhm. Yeah.
Season, so early on, she established that.
Yeah, I think it was about 6 years ago that we had a professional designer redesign our logo, and we've been using that ever since. And it seems about every 2 years I redo our signs because I'm like, I want something better, and so yeah, but
I've seen your seasons around and like just the logo and stuff. I've seen that around.
yeah, which I try to be everywhere. That's my job, is to be everywhere.
No, you are everywhere.
Sweet, I can retire. Yeah, so if we don't have any questions about highlighting your business, we feel like we talked a lot about it, but we'll go on. So this is kind of talking about what we've already talked about, but don't post and ghost. You don't want to just throw up a post and then leave it. For example, this last weekend, I made a piñata for my daughter's birthday. I made it because I couldn't get one. Lilo and Stitch, she needed her Stitch piñata. And I've got 20 something comments, I think. And I haven't said a thing to any of them. And I haven't liked or commented on any of the comments because I don't know what to say. So don't do what I do, because that is 20 plus engagement opportunities that I've essentially lost. I probably will go in and actually post a picture of the destruction on it, just so that it pops back up, because I used a projector to project it onto a piece of cardboard, and then I jigsawed out the cardboard, then made a piece that went between the two, front and back, and then covered it in tissue paper. It was about 8 hours of work, but yeah, it was good. So another thing that we want to do is we want to make sure we're adding value in these online communities, so that when you're making a post, that it's something that helps them solve a problem. You're wanting to, can be as simple as somebody asking for a restaurant recommendation and having something that, oh, hey, have you tried K's Kitchen in Provo? It's really great Japanese food. Just being able to add something that only your perspective is able to do. So now we're going to have a quick activity. Let's pull out our phones and let's make a Facebook post, personal Facebook post. I mean, you could do a business one if you want and be like, we're in a class. See if we can find a slide that. So you could take a picture of yourself with this slide right here, or even just this slide, and say, hey, I'm in the class today. What that's our homework right now, is to do. You do not.
I'm actually, one of my clients just did a remodel for bathroom this weekend. I just told her to send me a before and after, please. That's what I'm posting.
Perfect.
I'm golden. And Snotbag over here just told me that she can't believe I'm on Snapchat too, because she thinks I'm 1,000. And I want to punch her in the face.
I didn't think anyone under or over the age of 18 was on Snapchat. So I have been on Snapchat once, and it was when I rolled over my car, and a kid driving by took a picture of it, and then like 2 days later, I was giving him a tour of the I Am Flash factory up in Lehigh, or whatever it's called, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't know. I left before they sold. Texas Instruments."
Yeah.
And I was talking to one of the adults that brought these kids through, and he's like, "That was you?" I got it on my Snapchat.
Family, we just have a family Snapchat, those are, and a couple of my in-laws, because they live far away and then we actually get.
You know what I like it better than, and I don't know if I like it better than Snapchat because I've never used it. Marco Polo, it's my favorite.
For both people, and it's, because the camera's really pleasant.
Yeah, but that's okay. You're just trying to get a message across. Yeah, I love Marco Polo. Me and one of my good friends use it all the time.
That one wasn't intuitive.
So I have like my Facebook linked to my Instagram, so when I post something
Mine is too.
Mhm.
on it. So can your, like, if you're to do a poll, does that work if you do it on Instagram and put it on Facebook, or do you have to like?
I don't know if
I don't think it
I don't
does.
think Facebook
No.
does the polls.
No.
I think everything. I think it's just Instagram on that one. Because I've never seen a poll on, well,
Plus, I
in
select
recent
and choose my
years
stuff.
I haven't seen a poll on Facebook, but I do see them on Instagram. So I don't think that one shares across.
And the-
Do you have an Instagram?
Yeah, I do. Come on, Scarlett, you got this. Turn the light on then.
Need the light, I need the light off, because I can't, like,
Do you want me to take a picture of you?
no, I don't want to picture.
Well,
gonna do
you
video?
aren't taking a picture.
Need video?
Just lift the height.
You need a video, huh?
Just lift the height. You're fine. Relax. I'll just see you then. Are we done or not done?
No, not done.
Okay, I was like, she's open her like, yeah, I'm gonna. I don't know how to do it. You can tell me what that was all. I'm gonna come check on my.
Then I go to.
But at least I do something else in the so I'm thinking myself. I don't know about that today. Oh, I need to picture this, like, show my family, like, you know, people are happy, like, sell it, start to make it. Yes.
Funny how we're doing, so it's fine, $20.
I totally understand. I have a similar fear. I hate being in camp, but I had a YouTube video for here in Orem that I did, and like my first comment was some guy saying, "If a Q-tip were a human being," like I don't even know what that means. I don't know, but apparently it's me. This is what if a Q-tip were a human being. Yeah.
I'm just gonna go with the first one. One thing I did learn late, but they said that when you're doing videos, that it's the first, within the first four that are really good.
Absolutely.
You agree?
Because once you get further into it, you've done it a bunch of times, your brain is remembering things that you've said in previous videos, but you're jumping to the point quicker. So people who are following what you're saying, you end up leaving out little nuggets of information. So I absolutely I as I've videoed Becca for years doing YouTubes and stuff, if she screws up a couple times and redoes it, it ends up being a worse video just because it gets shorter, faster, and it doesn't allow the viewer as much time to process her train of thought.
Someone ever knows.
You will be the only person who notices that. All right, should we get going? Everyone have a chance to post?
I mean, if I just did a picture, that's one thing. I could just do a picture, but I should just. You know, I've never posted a video on my Instagram.
All the, don't know. I've seen it happen too, it's been like popular big, and all of a sudden.
That'll be good, because then I can. Eagles play tonight, so then maybe I can do a follow-up post on that.
And the Bucks have been alright, like they've been great. Well, I know one of the things.
We'll get going. So this is just going to be our last slide talking about some more strategies you can use for social media. It's talking about being authentic, being you. I really like the idea of going to, this poll idea. I think that's a great idea of showing your personality and letting people get engaged. I think that is awesome.
Well, I like something like this because you mesh the business and personal, because I put debate at AW Westfield office or whatever.
Yeah.
Because then it's like they know I'm either working or I'm training something.
Yep.
But then also, so it's like
Yeah, it's
almost too difficult.
absolutely, and it doesn't really satisfy the need of a business post, but if they know what you do, it reminds them. So I think that's brilliant, because now it's hey, I'm working, I'm at the office, but we're talking about not work. So it allows them to engage. I think very brilliant. I think that is a great way to use it. Number 2 is talking about not being a jack of all trades. Really hone in on what you want to get good at before you move on to further business stuff. Both. I don't know what they're talking, but I would say both. You want to master one platform before you move to multiple. And I would say if your focus is Instagram, sharing to Facebook is not a problem, because your content is for Instagram, and you're going to learn a little bit about Facebook as you
Getting at least exposure.
exactly. Exactly. So until you get Instagram dialed in, and then I would say that, in my opinion, is that Facebook would be the next natural place to go, because they are so cohesive. And that learning curve should be really short after the first learning curve. And then I wouldn't recommend being, I'm a commercial investor, I'm a townhome seller, I help you sell and buy land. Like, we can do all of these things, but I would really work on a niche of, this is who I am. I help you buy and sell residential real estate in South County. Is kind of the filter I would put myself through, and say, that is what I want to broadcast to the world, is that you're in one of these 5 cities. I am the premier agent for that area, and put it through that filter so that you become, just when somebody thinks of that, they think of you. And then, embracing video, especially now, short form video is critical. Reels, TikToks, YouTube Shorts, Facebook. I think they call them Reels there too. Whatever it is, short form video is getting tons of engagement, because we don't have attention spans anymore. So embrace the video. If you're up for a challenge yourself for a month straight that you're going to do one live video or something like that. When we did ours, it was because Facebook was pushing it. I don't see the lives being pushed, but it will challenge your skills and your comfort level talking in front of a camera. So I would say, if you really need to push your comfort level, that is huge. Checking out your analytics, seeing what is working, and what's not working and make small little tweaks. See if you can get those numbers up. I love analytics. I'm very engineering mindset that I just love to see a data and say, how can I make that data point one little bit better? What can I do? And oh, that was wrong. I made the wrong choice, and circle back and just try to follow the data to where it's leading me. And then the biggest thing is asking for help. There's quite a few teams here in the office that have good social media presences, and just ask, like, send me a text, Josh Barrett with Peter Morkel Group. We're way open to helping and sharing. There's no secrets. Like, I'm more than willing to tell anyone what I do and show you.
Ask you some more questions just on the video stuff.
Uh-huh.
Like, I love the ones where I don't know if they have like a green screen behind them or something where they like put up data behind them and they're like talking about it, or they're talking about something. I don't know, like making the videos look more professional.
Okay.
Like, there's easy little things that you do.
Yeah. So did you know there's a green screen here in this office? There's a green screen sound room on the second floor.
Schedule it out or?
Nope. You just can go in there, turn on the lights, do some recording. I believe they have stuff to hold your phones and stuff. We did it for a little while. We actually did a seminar back during the COVID times with our inspector, Lender, and Becca as a seminar lead source in that room. So like if green screen something you want, we have that. There is different filters that you can apply to your videos that will allow you to kind of green screen without a green screen. It may or may not be better. It is easier, but for professional sakes, green screen is an option. To my knowledge, TikTok does have a green screen filter that it will filter anything that's green. So you go in there and you just record it, and then you can import the video, and it's like an overlay, but it only overlays wherever the green was.
I'm using Canva Pro.
I have very little, but I know Canva Pro does have the background filtration, and I believe it works the same way where you can.
Does Command have their own type of? It's not like a camera, but it's similar to
They, yes, Command does have an editor, and it's okay. I've used it to make flyers and things like that, but beyond that, no. I think Canva, if you're a novice at graphic design and stuff, Canva, it's too intuitive for me because I grew up doing Photoshop, and it's stupid hard. Like knowing what you can and can't do, it's stupid hard. But then I get into Canva and I'm like, how do you do this? And Becca's like, you just drag it. I'm like, well, that's easy. Like, so if you're new to graphic design, Canva's great. The Command one, it's very similar to Canva. It's just not as powerful. But they have some pretty good templates. The emailer through Command is actually really good. I actually send all of our emails through Command. I designed them on a different website though, called Strippo, because I really like a consistent format, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, so, and I'm sure Instagram has a green screen filter as well. I just haven't seen it. So, but if you want like specific training on that, just shoot me or Becca a text, and we'd be happy to schedule her time to show you how to do some edits and stuff, because she's really good at it. But yeah, like
I want to start reading the short videos. I don't want to spend big years. I want to kind of step it up.
Yeah.
Ordinary. I need those in like very.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, and then another thing that that we do is we find other people who are excelling at that in our market. There's a, yeah. Yeah, like we have people that we follow that are doing really well. Like when you go to family reunion, you will see people up on stage who are excelling at stuff, and you'll be like, "Oh, I'm following them," and you can start copying and emulating where it fits your personality. But like if you look up Paige Steckling, she's used to be a Keller agent a couple years ago, and now she's just killing it in the social media space. So you better believe we're watching her stuff as a how do we take what she's doing well and bring it into our business. There's things about her personality that if Becca did, it would be awkward and just awful. But we can look at it from a analytical standpoint. What is she doing that is translatable?
What's her name?
Paige Steckling. I can't think of her business stuff, but she's
Oh, yeah.
yeah, she's phenomenal. Like if you were looking for somebody to follow, especially in the Instagram space, to see, yeah, to see real success in the social media sphere, she is knocking it out of the park.
Yeah, you can tell she's got a professional.
But if you go back to her beginning, you can see where she started. And Steckling. I don't think there's a G. Yeah,
Oh, there we
E.
go.
Yeah,
Yeah, that could be awkward.
yeah. She is phenomenal, and just doing great work. So I definitely recommend.
Right there.
Definitely looks like yes.
I would think
Just
so.
looking at,
It's an editing software, photos, graphic design, and videos.
like software open house, like a flyer.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, maybe I need them. I don't.
So we just introduced her to TikTok. She's now done her first TikTok.
Good job.
Let's see what you did.
This is just like, so called.
Oh, that looks nice.
It's clean.
It was, anyway, it's really intuitive. We're just talking about that. So yeah,
I-
there's a free version.
Yeah.
Free one's fine to start with, because we're not pros like you yet.
Yeah.
I did a
Becca still uses the free version.
I did a thing to send out to my clients the other day. It signed I just a thing to tell them like, hey, blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay, question.
Mhm.
So if you're sending out something to them, I'm like, hey, just gonna send a thing out in October. I'll send one out in November. Do you ask them, be like, hey, would you post things, like email, blah, 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 or I put my, name, address, that kind of stuff, my email, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. It's my clients that I just had been doing their hair all these many years and stuff. But what about people that you interact with other things? How do I get their permission to, like, how do you get them to interact back with you to get their at home address, blah, blah, blah.
There's a few ways. The
Okay,
easy
I'm
one,
ready.
giveaways. Sign up for a Sign Up Genius account, and no, giveaway. So like Sign Up Genius or Eventbrite or something like that, where you can do, you can even do it with Google Forms, where you require a email, phone number, address, and something else, and then you give away $5-10 Starbucks gift cards, and then anyone who wants to enter, they have to fill out this form to get their contact information. That's a pretty easy way.
Isn't there something you landed with? Like,
Probably. I switched from Follow Up Bus to Command a couple years ago when they promised us that it was grand and lovely, and it fell short on a lot of things.
But that's what you do from like off Instagram or whatnot.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
like I said, address, and I have their address. I have those things, but I feel kind of coachy that I'm crossing.
I would reference the TCPA Act and make sure you're not sending. Yeah, I'm saying that to cover myself. From an address standpoint, I have known people to go on to county records and get addresses.
No, but I have.
Yes, but if you haven't been given permission to,
Well, I was gonna send them a thank you card for, I still travel with them, and I was gonna send them a thank you card for traveling in like 2 weeks, and, thank you so much, for letting me,
yeah, see, if it's that you've had permission to mail them, that's fine.
well, and
With,
just send
yeah,
them a thank you card for, like, done with them.
yeah, that's perfectly fine.
But I don't feel like I should send them any. Real estate wise, I still really.
I would wait until you've established some form of a real estate relationship with them.
Okay.
And that would be having them sign up for the emails to get a giveaway, or the pumpkin patch. If you're doing the pumpkin patch, that's a great way to collect that information in exchange for that wristband or something. That's how we built our business in the beginning. Was we used to do a thing called Death by Chocolates, and I think we had 8 people show up to our first one. And it's just, all right, how do we get the contact information for those 8 people? Okay, how do we add more next month?
How did you do that? Just from having them sign up on your Instagram or
Yep,
whatnot?
we just posted it as an event on Facebook and pushed it out. Text people, say, hey, I've got this event. Would you be interested in coming? Cool, I'll send you the link. Another thing you can do is just say, like we did this when we had an in-office admin and we were slow. We actually said, hey, go through our command, and anyone who we don't have an address or an email or a birthday or whatever, send them a text and say, hey, John, I just was noticing that we don't have your birthday in our system. Would you mind sharing that with us so that we can make sure we get you a little something? The big thing is, if you're doing that, especially with birthday, you want to make sure that something follows that when their birthday comes around, because you don't want to promise something without delivering. But if it's like their address, you could just say, hey, we send out postcards for the events we do. And I want to make sure that you're able to come. We've got pumpkins coming up. We've got photos with Santa, and we have, maybe something else. And I want to make sure that you and your family know about these free events that I do. So would you be willing to give me your address? If I had somebody's phone number and email, and they had consented to giving me permission to email, like you could even say that with your newsletter. Just say, hey, I periodically send updates about what's going on in the real estate market, because I know people want to know, but they don't really want to feel like they're bothering me. So this way I can tell you what's happening in the market.
So then you say, hey, would you mind emailing?
Yeah, would you just, yeah, I would do this through text, but that's how we've built our business. We don't call people. Like,
Well, I was just sending an actual physical letter out.
and that you could just say, hey, if you wouldn't mind just sending me your email address, then I can get you added to this. And I promise it's not going to be spammy, and I'm not going to sell this email. It's going to be relevant stuff to you and your home. And then once they've given me that permission, honestly, if I had their address, or if I had their phone number and email, I wouldn't feel super creepy about pulling their address off of Utah Real Estate. Yeah. Yeah.
I've dealt with them for years.
So yeah, I would say with them that mailing them probably wouldn't be offensive to them. But I don't know if I would go to an email relationship without having them say, yes, I'm okay with that. And that really could you, yeah. And
I just don't want to be like overstepping.
Yeah, and to be honest, if I had that much of a relationship with somebody, I'd probably text and be like, hey, I'm just setting up my email list for my quarterly newsletters. Absolutely. Because you're
state stuff, I've now stepped into this,
Mhm.
blah, blah, blah.
Yep. And
Really, or say yes.
It's like adding value, but also the reason why you're asking for it.
yep, exactly. like, I'm not just trying to spam you with stuff or sell your, like, I want to add this, and whatever your business plan is saying you're going to do. Because if you're doing quarterly emails or monthly emails or whatever, or if you're leaning on, Command has the ability to send up neighborhood snapshots. We don't use them personally. Becca doesn't think the data is 100% accurate, and she is like a stickler for 100% accuracy.
Right.
But if you're okay with 95% accuracy and want to do that, you can have that email go out monthly or whatever. But whatever you decide for your business is what I would communicate is how frequently you're going to get that email. So like we send out 2 emails to past clients and 1 email to everyone else in our database, and that is our business plan of what our email is used for. And but yeah, we have had our, I'm saying this because Becca is very like, does not like texting people and asking, like, but we've had our admins use Becca's phone number and text people when we're missing data. And we have, I think 65%, like on Command, you can see how much of their information you have for your database. And I think we're at 65% of that data with a birthday, addresses, everything. And we track that as a metric so that we know as we're adding people that we need to step up our game of collecting more information. So any other questions on this? I think we're through, and I think we're out of, in our database. So we have 3, we have Becca and one other, we have a buyer's agent on our team currently, and our database is at, I think 751. About 450 of those we have addresses for, and I think we're about 300 of them have all the information, including birthdays and social media counseling through Command. So it's I in my schedule, mind you, this is my whole job. I don't sell. My schedule, I have time blocks of, I'm going to go into Facebook. I will log into Becca's or Lori's account and go find her friends and say, when's your birthday? And pull that and put it into Command so that now they're getting handwritten birthday cards for their birthday every year. Home anniversaries, generally I have all of them, but as we bring in new agents, when we brought Lori in, I went through all of her past clients and found when they closed on their house, so I can send hey, did you know it's been a year since you've closed your house? Congratulations, super excited to have been a part of the process. And so they get handwritten cards for that. And it's just, I have a robot that's supposed to do it, but I had a previous admin help me get it set up, and he trained me on it, and I forgot how to use it. So it's, oh, that's cool. Yeah, mine was a robot that actually moved a pen and stuff. So yeah, it's there, but currently I'm doing all of it. I've got an hour time block every Tuesday that I sit and write happy birthday cards to people. Last week we sent 7. This week I think I have 4. Oh, not very personal, and that's one thing I wish I could change, but to know personal details on 700 people is just too much. So yeah, and that's one of the value adds, is that our agents don't have to write their own, that it's being done for them and they don't have to think about it. I actually, after I write them, I will text, like for example, Lori, I'll text her, I say, hey, it's Ross's birthday, and then I hit send, and then I delay it till the day of their birthday, so that morning, 8 a.m., my agents get a text saying it's Ross's birthday, so they can reach out if they choose to. But then the person, within about 2 days, they'll get a birthday card that says, hey, happy birthday, and it's just all about the person. But it's about 2 sentences long. And yeah, so it's just little. So as a recap, this is kind of the whole thing that we're doing on social media. the 10-5-1 really is the biggest strategy that we need to remember, is that like and love 10 different things every day, make 5 comments, and then either make a post, share something to someone else. Like you could go on, you see something funny that somebody will like, and you can just share it directly with that person, or comment on their page. Yep, people. Unless it like I said, that Hideaway Books, they are a potential client of mine. So I actually do, because the owner lives in my neighborhood. So I really like her bookstore, but there's also a personal connection. So this week I gave her a Google review as a part of this. Like I saw I hadn't reviewed her business, so I ran into her yesterday, and she's like, "Oh, thank you so much. It means so much to me." And it's just like, it's about just, so like where her business is her life, I made it a personal connection through her business. But if it's, KSL business page, that wouldn't count as a connection unless you're commenting on somebody in your sphere's comment that they posted. Like if they were appalled at something, then you could be like, yeah, I completely agree with you. That's ridiculous. Then it's a personal connection, but it's about making that personal connection and just reminding people that you exist. Every 13 days, people need to be reminded that you exist and that you're in real estate. Do you have any other questions?
I guess I have this kind of
Mhm.
where I don't want without sounding like
No, no, you're,
During the market or open house, whatever it may be, there has to be value. I think where Phil sales is like, hey, I'm real estate, got any leads for you guys? I think that kind of thing.
I agree 99% of the time. Our best client ever came from Becca getting in the business and saying, I'm newly licensed. Who do you know who needs a real estate agent? And one of Becca's ex-boyfriends referred her to his neighbor. That ex-boyfriend was selling a home at that point in time with someone else. He referred Becca to a neighbor who had 2 properties to sell. We ended up selling one. He sold the other one off market. And from that transaction, we've had over 50 transactions. They're both connectors. They connected us with their lender, who is now our preferred lender. He's phenomenal. And so we get probably 2 transactions a year from that lender that we close. But like we've done business with their parents, with their kids. Like it's a huge, but that one came from that. And I do think there is yeah, exactly, a time that you can say, hey, I am in business and the market isn't as gloomy as it looks, and I'd love to help you. But I don't think that's against the rules, but I do think more of your posts should be either entertaining or what's the word you used? Informative, like giving value, showing somebody why, if you bought a house 5 years ago versus buying one today, why waiting that 5 years it just cost you $500,000. Or you can find tons of stats that will support whatever you're looking to do. And I do that. Another thing you can do is funny. Like people love seeing weird stuff that comes through, like carpet in the bathroom. Like hey, what do you think of this new carpet in this bathroom? And you'll get 50 comments about it. And my grandma had a porch with carpet. Yeah, But you can do something like that, and it's business because it's like, hey, I was looking at pictures of houses, and I found this one with carpet. There's a great resource called unsplash.com. And they are a photo sharing website that doesn't require attribution. You're never not going to have to worry about a photographer coming back and suing you, which is a big thing that's happening right now for using a copyrighted image. So I use Unsplash for everything that I can. Unsplash, Unsplash. But go there and just type some words and start looking for funny pictures and pull that over and be like, you know, just start to engage some, you know, I was looking up pictures of homes and I found this one where, you know, my brain's drawing blanks right now, but you can just find so much stuff. And I really would be careful where you're pulling images from, because there are photographers who will, well, they'll freak, but they'll even put something out as free and then later revoke that free license and then come at you for like 20 grand. I can't remember where I heard that, but it was there's some really bad legislation stuff happening, or legal stuff happening because of that. So be careful where you're pulling images, and that's why we always ask for permission to share listings before we just share them. Expires or sold? If you're putting a link to it, like in your comments, I would say no, because they can click the link and see updated information. If you are not, I would either update it or delete it. Yes.
That leads to another question. If you have posts after a while,
I can't think of a time we have. Yeah. Yeah, because even though that house is long sold and stuff, it's still advantageous, and I can't think of unless something I did ended up having some, like if I partnered with Jared Fogle from Subway and then stuff comes out about him later, I definitely would sever that relationship. But
I'm just wondering, maybe like since you're posting every day, like once.
yeah, we there might be data to that, but I'd have to research and yeah, I can't fathom what that would be, unless once again I was in a niche that I wanted to break away from. Like if for some reason I was doing really well with, I don't know, maybe first time home buyers, and I hate first time home buyers. I don't, but if that were my thing, maybe I would go and clean it up so that it's like, oh, he only does luxury. But other than trying to redirect the algorithm, I don't see a reason. Yeah. Any other questions? Yeah, like you'll go through and you'll be like, oh, yep, that's a picture he used on that. Nope, that's and another thing I'll use, which is really weirdly specific, but I'll take images from there and I'll take it into Photoshop. They have a beta AI tool, and I know there are other ones. I don't know what ones they are, but there are AI tools, and you can say, oh, I want to change this about this picture. So we did an event over the summer at the Linden Aquatic Center, and I used a picture that I got through Linden, but it had a bunch of kids in it. And I'm like, I don't want random people's kids on my postcard. Like, it's super weird. I always have it graded lightly so you can't see really what's going. Like, you can see that I just went and I circled the area and I said, remove the kids. And it just recreates it's not the pool. It's not the same pool, but it's close enough that no one knows. So then all of a sudden my postcards looks more like I wanted. So a lot of cool technology blows my mind. 15 years ago, I would have spent hours doing the same work. Yeah. So, all right. Well, if there's no other questions, we will. Oh, I'm glad. That's great.
super horrid looking ones to start with. We got our practice ones where we look stiff as stiff can be, and then I'm actually gonna post the ones overlapping and just being natural. And I guarantee they'll get way more views than us just being total stiff boards over there.
I have no idea how to get out of
And just laughing,
this.
being giggly and natural is so